men are useless. I mean,
this headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single. Most young women are not.
Young men have fallen faster than any demographic in America over the last 40 years.
It's a different world now. Like, we don't need men the way that they used to.
Nobody needs men!
The future is female.
Men and women are drifting further apart, and society is crumbling because of it.
A fascinating debate has broken out about the value of marriage.
You've kind of got the trad con versus red pill thing.
This men's rights crowd that sometimes just goes too far the other way.
You need to stop acting like grown boys and infants and actually become men.
Marriage is a bond, and it's a sacred bond.
It's a machine designed to extract resources from you.
Now many of the red-pilled have taken the position that it's bad for men to get married.
Hannah Pearl Davis, or just Pearly Things.
One of the most controversial faces.
Marriage is a terrible deal for men.
Because if me and you were in a business contract, you would never sign a contract where I am paid to leave.
Gee, what could go wrong there?
74% or something of divorces are initiated by women. Men have everything to lose, primarily their own children.
Men get killed by the courts and by divorce laws.
I had no idea that courts of family law were courts of equity, not courts of law.
Because in family court, you don't need evidence to accuse someone of abuse. You need no evidence. When you guys say get married young, a lot of these men don't know what they're signing up for, and you're not going to be there when their entire life falls apart. I interview them on the other side.
Society.
Every problem in society comes from single mother homes.
A lot of women will just chase this negative rabbit hole of happiness, endless happiness.
Feminism's biggest failures is it lies to women. We tell women to date as many guys as possible. We tell them to put off family into marriage.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend.
Oh, freeze your eggs, have an abortion. What? You're evil.
I don't think there's anything else in life that we actually ever go into preparing to fail.
Right.
Like if you have the mentality of this is going to go wrong and be pessimistic, naturally the outcome is going to be that it's going to fail anyway. Yeah. It's self-sabotage.
And that's the thing, like women are so willing to leave marriages because they're not happy. This is not about happiness. The most important thing is the children. And the problem is we have a modern society where it's me, my feelings, leave when I feel like it, instead of doing what's best for the kids.
Out into the street.
We absolutely reinforce bad behavior from women.
Wives are taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family is the foundation of the society.
Equal if the men are the ones that have to fight and die to defend the country. The men are the ones that build and maintain all the infrastructure.
Women are helplessly dependent upon men.
The so-called deaths of despair from suicide, overdose, or alcohol, 3 times higher among men than among women.
Culture is telling men, you are no good.
You got to get your act together.
I think men.
Every single woman at the table said they wanted a man.
500K,
500K, 300K,
200K.
Am I crazy?
Everything is really set up against you to fail as a man.
If men make less than women, women don't want to marry them.
So you know who wants more economically and emotionally viable men? Women.
I don't want to be an independent woman anymore.
I don't want to be a strong, independent woman.
I'm over it. When is it going to be my turn?
Where are we meeting the men that don't stop?
I can't.
Literature. And you know, when we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, like you have ones like the Great Isaiah Scroll, which is fully complete. Like it's a copy of the book of Isaiah, and it's a full complete scroll. But then other ones are so fragmentary that we think they're written in Hebrew, but we can't actually tell. So that one is fascinating. So this isn't true for all of the Dead Sea Scrolls, but when we discovered the Great Isaiah Scroll, previous to that, the earliest copy of Isaiah that we had was in the Masoretic text, which is in the Middle Ages.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it was literally 1,000 years. We literally pushed back our understanding of Isaiah 1,000 years. And the thing that really shocked scholars, like I said, this isn't true for all of the Dead Sea Scrolls, but one of the things that shocked them about Isaiah was that it was word for word identical to the Masoretic text.
Word for word.
Word for word.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean,
Science and religion is that science only asks you for one miracle. I want you to believe in one miracle, the Big Bang.
Yeah. That's a good one.
It's a great line.
Yeah.
It's because it really is true.
Yes.
And it's funny because people would be incredulous about the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but yet they're convinced that the entire universe was smaller than the head of a pin, and for no reason than anybody's adequately explained to me. It makes sense.
Yeah. No.
Instantaneously became everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't buy that.
I'm sticking with Jesus on that one.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus makes more sense.
what I was trying to get Billy in.
you find that Gen Z men are having a hard time getting jobs. A lot of I've seen studies which show that Gen Z men apparently, Gen Z in general, they go with their parents to job interviews, which shows that their parents are also part of this, and they have failed them in a lot of ways, in more ways than one. But when you live along this and go to the other factors, you find that there is also a divide. Families have also been really destroyed in this new age with the rise of single motherhood. So the children who are raised by single mothers, all the data shows that they fare worse. They are more likely to end up in jail, more likely to be degenerates in society. The women are more likely to do sex work. Every bad metric, for which you can grade that somebody is a failure. You find that single motherhood is the breeding ground for all this. So when you factor in that more Gen Z come from single mother households, and you look at other factors like feminism, which demoralizes men, which tells women that all they have to do is find a career. But even when they find a career, that they will never make as much as men, because the world is inherently sexist and the tyrannical patriarchy is holding them back. So they get the job.
They're taught to leave their husbands, and then daughters grow up without their fathers.
Family. Looking for families, looking to find a man and get married and form a family, and they can't. Women who have pursued careers instead of pursuing families are more likely to have used their childbearing years to further their career instead of finding a family, or instead of forming a family, finding a man, get married. So there's even that. So feminism has hurted everybody in every which way, and you find that feminism inherently is very anti-family in a lot of ways. If you have this decentralization of people in society, where they are not, the greatest incentive anybody could have is reproduction, because it is biological. Everything is guided towards reproduction. So if men have an incentive to find a woman, get married, have kids, and women also have the same incentive, you find that the women already have most of what they need. They only need to be feminine, submissive, and follow the man's lead. But the man needs to build himself. But if the men have been disincentivized from finding a family with all the Me Too movement, feminism, and everything, of course, they feel lost because they are not pursuing.
It's kind of a cool out, you know. So everyone's a sinner, everyone's fucked up, everyone's flawed, but
finding a wife, having children, building a family. So of course they will be more lost, but because you'll find that religion prioritizes family values, prioritizes forming a family, having kids, and also what does the left have to offer? Chicks with dicks, and also boys chopping off their dicks. So the left has nothing to offer men in terms of what most of them think is right. As the Bible says, you shall know them by their fruits. And getting married, because marriage is inherently tied to religion, marriage between a man and a woman. Because this is highly tied to religion, you find that Gen Z men are pursuing this more because they find that this is the only way they can find somebody who aligns with their beliefs. Somebody who's more religious as a woman is more likely to want to have kids, get married, and form a family. So this is a major issue why the men are trending towards religion, and more Gen Z men are conservative, because they will find that the other side, the liberals, are very anti-religion and very anti-family, and yet everybody wants to get married and have kids. You'll find that because women are more likely to get suckered into the leftist ideology because they are more emotional, and leftism, liberalism is highly based on emotion, what people feel, making everybody feel good, and not hurting feelings. You'll find that women are more likely to be tied to that ideology. You find that women even even in the voting, you find that they vote more liberal, the men vote more conservative. So of course, men who want family, to get married and have kids, will turn to religion because it is, and conservatism because these things prioritize.
It's a common pattern that after centuries of